Hey folks, Dave here, and we are long overdue for just a general channel update. It's going to be a pretty busy fall, as I mentioned in my last video, and things have been kind of slow at times around here on the channel, and a little bit unpredictable, if you will, so I figured it was far past time for an update. First things first, you guys are looking at a bit of Fallout 4 building. No, your eyes do not deceive you. We're doing some building in the background here at Nordhagen Beach. I had to double check my map there. That's how long it's been. Let's go over that build idea real quick. We're doing a small kind of treehouse guard tower build. Wow, there's a cobweb right in front of the camera. I really enjoyed my build at Somerville Place back in, oh man, was it 2017? Kind of a treehouse city style build. Don't have that kind of time to commit, but I thought that Nordhagen would be a good place for kind of camouflage defensive tree fort. You've got that Raider-owned shipwreck area just to the north. You got Boston Airport, which in my lore is a Minutemen settlement just across the water there, but beach is kind of empty and not a lot of good defensive locations. And this is also a settlement where I've barely done anything since the game came out. You can see some of my original December 2015 basic snap together structures here. So Nordhagen just needed some kind of RangerDave, General Dave touch to bring it a little bit up to date, and you guys can enjoy some building here in the background while we talk about what's to come here on the channel. I'm gonna jump in real quick here with a thank you to the sponsor of today's video, longtime channel partner Apex Gaming PCs. I am recording this video right now on my actual Apex Gaming PC build. It is still rocking and rolling. And if you look over at the Fallout footage in the background right here, Fallout 4, and especially the settlement building with all of these mods, has never run better. This PC is awesome. And it's super stable is the main important thing. It is so fast that I'm running all stock clocks. Apex does offer overclocking, but I wanted that stability. And again, Fallout 4 has never run this well. It's honestly a shame that I don't have more time to build right now because it's never been easier to build. I'm running Fallout 4 itself and all of my mod installation, all of it, off of my boot drive, which is a Gen 4 SSD, and it is just screaming fast. You can customize your Apex PC with custom parts like that if you'd like. You can do larger and faster boot drives. You can do additional hard drives for storage if you have way too many mods. But you can also just pick from the 3 RangerDave pre-approved tiers. Those are set up at different price points where you can just pick one and order it and run with it. And they have little frame rate guarantees there where you can see how that PC is going to perform playing the games that I also play here on my channel. So make sure you guys check out Apex Gaming PCs, linked right there at the top of the description, if you also want to do some crazy settlement building like this, or just play a bunch of these really cool PC titles coming out this fall, which I'm going to be talking about here in just a minute. So what's been going on? First of all, the answer is real simple: full on dad life. Family comes first, and you know, I'm working a full-time job outside of the YouTube channel. It remains a side gig, one that I really enjoy and I wish I had more time for, but family definitely comes first. It's been a challenging year and a half at times, but a really good year and a half overall. So looking forward, time-wise, that's probably going to continue. You know, we're probably not going to see me cranking out 2 or 3 videos a week anytime soon, but I am going to work on being a little bit more predictable and consistent for you guys who have occasionally been wondering what's been going on. And also because when you don't post on a regular, consistent basis, your videos don't even get pushed to your own subscribers. So I get PMs and messages from people all the time going, you know, when's the next Battlefield 5 video? Or when's the next Fallout video? Or are you going to return to this series or that series? And I got to reply like, hey, I just posted one like 4 weeks ago. And you probably didn't see it because the algorithm, you know, when you don't post enough or very often, it does tend to move on. So I'm going to try to be a bit more consistent, but you guys just don't forget to check your sub boxes and subscribe with the notification bell if you want to make sure that you don't miss anything. And then you can just, you know, skip a notification if it's not your cup of tea. But if you're wondering Where I've been, I did take a 1 month vacation, more or less, from publishing videos, but there have been content uploads pretty consistent, you know, month to month before that. So go back into the library if you guys are worried that you missed something. All that being said, the channel is nowhere close to over. I have Notepad docs, or Google Docs, I guess, technically, full of ideas still. I've got editing folders full of unfinished projects. I started a second channel, you know, for the model train and terrains and model detailing stuff. So I'd like to spend some more time with that at some point in the future. My goal is going to be at least 2 uploads a month and try to make those consistently themed. Oh, creepy lighting flicker there. And so at times this fall, as we hit some new releases, it could be even as high as 4 or 5 uploads a month. So hopefully we're going to see things ramping up now that summer vacation is over for me, and we're going to get back into the swing of things. At least, you know, fall and winter. We're looking at possibly some pretty big home improvement projects, which are always a background deal for me anyway, going into next year. Possibly some expansions that I'd be doing a lot of the labor on myself. Framing, electrical, insulation, finishing work trim. If we do some additions or changes to our current house, which we weren't planning on staying in for as long as we have, I would be leading the charge on those projects because, as you guys are probably well aware, the economy is in rough shape. You know, inflation's been going crazy, and so we are going to be here at our current house for longer than we had planned. So I might be busy, maybe even as early as, you know, next spring and then next winter, working on some bigger home improvement projects. So I really want to track down this fall and try to get some content rolled through. As part of all the schedule craziness, though, I have gone ahead and paused Patreon. I know that I think I only got 1 blog post out so far this year, and that's not fair to you guys who are paying month to month to get those Patreon updates. So that is paused for now and will probably continue being paused indefinitely. I'm going to post this video to Patreon so that you guys can see it if you are still subscribed. I'm not closing the Patreon. I'm just skipping the payment pull each month so that you guys aren't getting charged when I'm not able to keep up with those blog updates and content updates. But this video I am going to push to you guys so you can get some updates about just what's been going on and what's to come. With Patreon being paused, I'm also probably going to pause posting on my Discord. I honestly, guys, I frequently forget that I have a Discord, and my moderating team is also really busy these days. It was just the casual shenanigans circle volunteers that were doing the moderation for my Discord channel, and I just can't keep up with some of the spam and stuff like that. Interpersonal user issues that come up sometimes. We're probably just going to go ahead and pause the ability to post on that Discord server, at least for a bit, until we have some more time to just dedicate to all that. In good news, even though I'm kind of out in the sticks, I'm going to be upgrading to fiber internet pretty soon, which is kind of mind-blowing for me. It's going to be 1,000 up and 1,000 down. I had been paying $128 a month for a long time. It was for 50 megabit cable. Last couple of years, it's been 150, 250 megabit cable. It's not been bad. My cable company was solid, but they loved to overcharge because there was no competition. Surprise, surprise. And it does give me some pretty good satisfaction that they are panicking about all the fiber getting installed right now. My current cable service has been upgraded like 4 times this year, and I'm now on 1,000 megabit down over cable and 52 megabit up, which is just nuts for cable. And they're charging me like $78 a month for it now. That's like their highest tier available. So yeah, competition shows up and prices drop and speed goes up. So I guess I'm just bitter that it didn't happen like, you know, 7 years ago when I was uploading videos almost every other day and having to wait hours for them to upload. Oh, and my cable company got rid of their, I think it was 1.5 terabyte monthly caps, which I was pushing against quite a few times. I work from home full time, So yeah, competition. Turns out for utilities, it's a great thing. Who would have thought? Okay, upcoming plans outside of my fiber upgrade for fall 2023. Holy crap, it's almost fall 2023. First off, let's talk about Starfield. I am absolutely playing Starfield. I've always loved Bethesda's games, and I'm going into Starfield kind of blind. I've purposely avoided a lot of the deeper coverage of the game. So I just kind of want to go in and experience it for the first time. I am planning on sharing some of that with you guys. Beyond that, really not sure what my plans for Starfield are. I don't have one of the super early review keys. Surprise, surprise. Not a huge channel, not nearly big enough for that kind of thing. I may get a early access key, which is just the August 31st premium launch date, I guess, the 5 days of early access that everyone does now. I might get one of those keys. Either way, if not, I think I'm going to go ahead and purchase the premium edition upgrade myself. Again, though, no specific plans for Starfield other than I am planning on covering it and checking it out for sure. Battlefield, a question that a lot of you guys are going to have is, what's the plan for Battlefield content? I still have some unfinished archived projects to go over editing wise and finish. I am trying to play 5 here and there whenever I can around the hackers, but I am worried that playing both 5 and 1 is going to get tougher and tougher as time goes on. There are some nights where every hacker imaginable is just running around uncontrollably, and there's no point to play. I love Battlefield 1 and 5. I'm just worried that playing them won't be an option forever. And I'll be sad because 2042 is not really holding my attention. It's neat, I guess, that DICE has poured so much into it and not abandoned the game. I covered one of the new map launches, one of the actual new map launches back at the beginning of June. Really enjoyed that. But I'm the only person in my friend group playing 2042 ever, like at all. No one else even has it installed. They haven't had it installed for a year and a half now. So I am not going to be playing 2042 basically hardly at all outside of covering updates and news. I'll play it here and there for that. But for the Battlefield content, it's probably going to remain the older games. Another probably top question from you guys, seeing we're watching Fallout building here in the background, is what about Fallout settlement builds? This just circles back around to the whole time thing. You know, family comes first. My volunteer work that I do on the side comes first. My real job comes first. So I just don't have hundreds of hours to pour into new builds. And there have been times this year, especially that, 6 months have gone by without me working on a Fallout build at all. That being said, I have at least 2, maybe 3 partially finished, completely secret builds that I've had in progress for years now. They will be finished at some point. Even if I retire from YouTube next year and I'm gone, whenever those settlements are finished, Joel and I will be back for a tour. Let it be known now. We've got to do a few more. We were talking just a few weeks ago how much we miss the days of, a new Fallout tour every 2 or 3 months. That was cool. And, we're both dads now, so we don't even have time to play games together these days, let alone goof around and have a ridiculously good time touring settlements. So looking forward to when the next one will be. When that is, who knows? But you better believe there will be at least 1 or 2 more before they're all done with. Checking my notes here. There are a lot of strategy games coming out this year, this fall alone. A ton. Let's just talk City Skylines 2, just as one example. I will absolutely be playing that again. I loved the original City Skylines. I made some mods for it even back in the day. We had some Let's Build series for it. Expect some coverage of City Skylines 2. I may even do a upcoming strategy title video just because there's so many games coming out. Expect more Men of War as well. Been loving all of the betas for that game. So much fun. Beyond that, there's really just two more titles that I want to mention specifically as far as future content goes. One of them is S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. I am so beyond excited for S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. It is my Half-Life 3. Maybe just barely below Half-Life 3. S.T.A.L.K.E.R was my absolute favorite game franchise for so long, and probably still is. And I guess it's not quite in camera frame, but I've got all the original S.T.A.L.K.E.R faction patches that I imported from Ukraine back when I was a freshman in high school. Freshman in college. Man, I have so many hours in the S.T.A.L.K.E.R games. I'm hoping that S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 comes out in December, and if it does, it's probably going to be my channel's main focus for at least a few months, I would say. I have an outline of some content I'd like to produce, but I am just going to immerse myself in that game. I will find a way to get some videos cranked out if S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 comes out around the end of the year. I just got to make sure that my Christmas projects don't take over, because I mentioned the model channel earlier. I'd like to get some videos of some projects out for the model channel, which, by the way, I'll link in the description. It's Immersion Depot. I'm going to be planning on building a in-scale model train Polar Express for my son, who is obsessed with the movie. I don't even know how many times he's watched the Polar Express. He plays Polar Express with his wooden trains, with the train set that I built him, the in-scale one. So I'd love to, before Christmas, repaint some older passenger cars that I found in actual Polar Express colors and decals and all that stuff, and actually do lighting for him, interior lighting, and a whole bunch of stuff. I think that would just blow his mind. And that would be a fun video to share on that channel with some model building as well. I've also got this little guy here. This is a small model I picked up off of Etsy a while back. Let's see if it'll focus on it. There it is. Little pile of bodies. It's HO scale. Got a crow. A guy in a absolutely terrifying outfit there. But I saw this and I'm like, that looks like Hunt Showdown. So I'm planning on doing some upgrades to that little model, adding some lighting to it and some additional figures, just making it a fun little project. Something that won't have a huge amount of hours sunk into it, seeing someone's already done a whole lot of work on that one already. Speaking of Hunt Showdown, that is the last title I wanted to talk about. There has been no multiplayer game that I have played more of since the beginning of last year, 2022, than Hunt Showdown. I love everything about that game, and to see a game that is 5 years old and already is just an incredible concept and so much fun, so immersive, so competitive, so intense, to see their current events here 5 years after launch, bringing their highest player counts, new bosses, new weather effects, there's new maps coming out, there's an engine upgrade coming for the game. It is so rare to see a game just succeeding so much so far after launch. And again, the core game, the base game, is so good. I want to try and do a better job of bringing some of that gameplay from Hunt, but just how good the game is. I want to do some series, a couple different series actually, to just drive it home for you guys watching my channel of just how good and underappreciated Hunt Showdown is. So, rough plans that I can share with you guys. I'd like to do a solo series, very immersive, very slow paced, just like I play the game when I'm playing solo. I play it like it's DayZ. And then probably a friend group series basically as well, covering how a bunch of the Casual Shenanigans podcast friend group got really hooked on Hunt over the last year too. Such a good game. But I remember, before I started playing it, I didn't really watch any Hunt content because I didn't really understand the gameplay loop. It's hard to appreciate what you're watching if you don't know the game mechanics well. So I'd like to do some kind of introduction video and then start both of those series just to help bring more Hunt content for you guys, because I am absolutely planning on playing that game more. I've talked a lot in this video about how I don't have a ton of time for gaming and all, so that might sound hypocritical that I've spent a bunch of time in Hunt, but generally if I've got a couple hours, a few nights a week to play something and just, play, turn your brain off, just enjoy, Last year and a half, it has been Hunt. That game is incredible. And I want to do a better job of bringing it to you guys. So we'll see if I can pull that off. That's a lot of planning for not a whole lot of time. But regardless, I really do enjoy the content that I'm producing. Getting to play some of the titles that are coming out this fall early, hopefully. I'm grateful for the opportunities. Grateful that a lot of you guys are still sticking around as the channel has gone from me making World in Conflict trailers to Battlefield 3 to DayZ to Total War on into the Fallout and more focused Battlefield eras. Things have changed a lot around here, but a lot of you guys have stuck around, and that's pretty cool to see comments from people that have been around for that long. Okay, that's enough talking on and on here on camera. I've been building away here in the background. You guys can kind of see where things have been going. Let's hop over just to the in-game footage here, and I'll give you guys a kind of final tour of what I've been building over here in Fallout 4. Thanks for watching. And here we go, folks. We are back with our final build here. I've left the core of the settlement as it was in November, December 2015. All these terrible looking squared off shacks are unchanged, but I just can't help myself when it comes to defenses. While I was building this gigantic fortified treehouse defensive tower system, I just had to finish the defenses on down into the water. This is not as hardcore secure as a lot of my settlements have been in the past, because this is a poorer and more remote farming settlement, but still not bad. Lots of barbed wire and spikes on the beach side, plenty of spotlights. The guard tower there, not sure if anybody's actually up in it. This settlement is not letting me assign anybody to anything. I think I've gone way past the assignment limits. Who's this?
Light him up.
Hey. Alright, let's bring them on back in. And they're done. I don't know where those guys came from. We're going to do an attack here shortly, but that was not supposed to be it. But yeah, defenses appear to be working quite well, even if they just kind of walk into them. I just figured with a lot of this stuff like this raider settlement out here, we want defenses all the way around. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button there, trying to scoot out the way. Not used to walking with a controller. What is put my gun away? That's my pit boy. There it is. But I figured, as Joel pointed out years ago, the tours are easier to watch if I'm not zooming around with the mouse and keyboard. So we're going to walk around with the controller. But yeah, defenses all the way around. This turret, I think, is almost right where I left it in 2015. I just built the gate around it with some guard posts. Very, very cool looking lighting. I love those shadow casting lights. It's a great mod. And our treehouse, as you guys can probably see, and I'm going to turn it to daylight here soon, is very well camouflaged, not only with the natural branches, but with lots of tarps and blankets strewn all throughout to kind of break up the silhouette. So under an attack, enemies won't quite know where to aim to take out main supports, the stairwells, stuff like that. Especially from a distance. Let's fall back a little bit. Yeah, you can probably see that main tower still. It's a pretty obvious box up there, but it's heavily armored. So trying to look at that from a distance and figure out, okay, what do I hit with my rocket? Probably pretty tricky. Get a few more looks at the lighting here, and then we're going to make it daytime, if I can remember the console command. Yeah, I couldn't just leave this settlement unwalled off, so these walls do go basically all the way down into the water with some barbed wire and even some spikes here. There's our ship waiting to head off to Pleasure Island. I actually haven't seen the interior lighting in daylight or nighttime just yet. I was doing most of my building there at the end, including placing the lights in daytime. So let's take a quick peek, and then we'll talk about some of the final detailing. Oh yeah, a good amount of lighting for the storage room. You've got your coffee bar here for those late nights, but I wanted to keep the lighting mostly in the center here so that you don't silhouette people in the defensive boxes too much. You've got some tarps and blankets and stuff like that hanging down to help block the light, and then some very dim lights for the turrets themselves. But great sight lines. These boxes are heavily stocked with ammo and heavily fortified with multiple layers of concrete, cement blocks, and sandbags, so they can actually take multiple rocket hits. This is a defensive last stand measure, that switch right there. Put my rifle away. You guys can see we have a flamethrower right here aimed at the stairs. Can get those stairs roasting hot if the walls are breached, because again, these aren't totally secure walls. You can hit that switch and set off the flamethrower, as well as these radiation emitters and Tesla coils. There's one hidden by the stairs right there. We've got one over here. Basically, if the walls get badly breached, there's an emitter right there. You can turn underneath of the tree fort into a bit of a wasteland as a last measure of defense. But before we tour anymore, as cool as this lighting looks, let's make things daylight so we can take a look at the tarps and whatnot from a distance. Oh yeah, we got a rad storm coming, but how cool does that look? Very ominous defensive tower right there. I might just be recording the intro shot of the tour right here as the storm comes in. It's gonna keep on rotating. I love that a lot of those tarps have physics and all too. Very dramatic looking. Well, as cool as the storm was, it was hard to see, so I skipped past it a bit there. And now we can take a longer look right there at all those tarp systems that I did throughout the trees. Some of these I have just hanging off of branches. Some of these I have spikes set up for them. The spikes had awful hitboxes, so there's probably a couple floating here and there. But wherever I could, I stuck the spikes into support logs and then threw the tarps and flags to help give them some actual support. I think if I go around this side, you can kind of see that better. Yeah, I've got some support beams there with the spikes through them to hold the tarps, so they're not just floating in the branches wherever possible. You guys will also notice, if I go into free cam especially, they lifted a crane up into the top of the tree here to help lift some of these heavier pieces into place. Why not, right? Pulley system, and then got it up there, built this very, clipped it into the tree, built this very rickety looking platform to hold that crane. Terrifying. But they got it put together. That's just my head lore for how they got some of those larger pieces into place. And let's be honest here, the crane silhouette looks really cool up there in the tree. There we go. We'll get the field of view a bit wider for the inside part of the tour, so you guys aren't getting super dizzy. Let's march on up inside here. It is still pretty tight on the camera. Sorry about that, guys. A lot of the elements of this build I tried to use like they had been looted from nearby buildings along the coast, catwalks, lighthouse stairs, and then some newly constructed stuff like this kind of rough-hewn door here. Not super secure, just enough to keep people out. Lots of branches clipping through here and there. In my head lore, that's part of the camouflage for this location, is they just kind of built around the branches. Already saw that coffee bar, radio. Good supply of ammo. Who's shooting? Oh, raiders again. And he literally lost his head as it flew over the side. Okay. Defenses seem to be working very well, but you guys can also see how camouflaged this bunker is. We even have curtains over some of the portholes that you fire out of. There's that defensive switch again. We have a very nasty turret from one of the Assaultron robots. And then our main armory right here. Cowboy silhouette to distract any attackers. Just some ammo, guns, and some firewood for the fire up top. But there's no campfire or burn barrel on this level. You just gotta deal with the cold whistling through at this floor. Armory rack is loaded up with laser muskets, assault rifles, and of course some 1911 pistols, some extra ammo, and other supplies, and a RangerDave always be prepared poster appropriately right beside it. Also can see we got a little access stairwell here that I actually use for building. But you can access some of the electronics, power lines, and turrets up this way. This direction, we have another silhouette for distractions, more supplies, rifle, with a scope, some ammo. Very dim bottle light, and a great view of anybody trying to attack. Is that a Brotherhood of Steel member? I'm going to have to go investigate that soon. Also quite proud of this one, a floating outhouse attached to this little outlook window here, covered in some fishnets for camouflage. It drops right down into the ground below, and then someone's got to clean it up like you're mucking a stall after an animal. Just the treehouse outhouse. Drops right down there. And some candles for light, along with your necessary supplies like you would expect for an outhouse. Up this way we have a smaller observation port looking, I guess that's kind of southeast. There's not much out there, so this is mostly the turret's job to protect this direction. Still got some laser rifles and extra supplies right here, and a baton for close quarters combat. Now, a lot of tree branches. This is a bit overgrown. They might have to actually trim this back soon. As we climb our spiral staircase, we got some of them clamped together and mounted right to the tree. And then the center pole is driven into the ground and some concrete supports down below. We got to climb through a lot more branches. There's a lot of netting and tarps to help protect you as you climb. Make it hard for attackers to see you, let alone shoot you. There's some more of our support beams for our crane system. And then we do have some metal shielding here and there to guard your climb at a few places as you head up the tower. Got some solar panels to help with the turrets up here. Even got a turret hidden on the underside of the tower to help cover down below. It's a real mess of tree clipping up here, but still pretty cool. And this is our sniper's nest and lookout tower. He doesn't have access to the alarms, but he can shout out, much like the Titanic back in the day, that he has spotted trouble, and hopefully someone can then sound the alarm. Great sight lines all around. And that, guys, is pretty much it. Also got this nice little cozy fireplace here with a smokestack going out the top, because I imagine it's very chilly up there in that tower. Very, very windy. And you can see Some of the metal shielding just ripped off of some of these crashed airplanes, probably from Boston Airport. What a cool view of the city from here. But they're using those as shielding for that stairwell, which looks a little rickety from down below. And it wouldn't be a General Dave settlement without just a bit of propaganda. The Minutemen were rebuilding America, and of course, the General is restoring hope. And the whole place is surrounded with the Protected by the Minutemen signs. I'd say I probably have, including recording these little tours and clips, probably 7 or 8 hours of work in this, and that's what I was talking about in the channel update. Is man alive. Right now it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still recording this. It's just hard to make time for these, but man alive, I really do still enjoy doing it. I wish I could make more time for it. And it is awesome that my mods are still stable after all these years. Even more stable, I think, than they used to be. This Apex PC has kind of just overwhelmed them with brute force, so they're running quite nicely. Well, with that mini tour complete, let's see if I can resurrect my ancient settlement attack mod here. Nordhagen Beach, Raiders Heart. I think it worked. Oh, here they come. Not used to holding my mouse to aim. Oh, there comes the rockets. Let's get in the tower. This is terrifying. The whole tower is shaking. Oh. Little hidey hole they've got there. I'm going to stay down, I think. This is insane. Get behind the turret here? Okay. That was a headshot. This is probably one of the craziest attacks I've ever seen. Are they inside? Yep, we got some inside. If they breach too far, I'm going to set off the defenses down below. In danger, you don't say. It's my own turret there. Oh, I think it's damaged. Well, I have good cover here, but no good firing angles without a step stool, and I can't go to settlement mode to put a step stool. This is why you test your defenses before the attack arrives. Thankfully, I have this stairwell here. And there goes his head. And there go rockets right in my face. I'm glad I'm wearing lots of armor. Ow.
Stop right there.
Pacify failed. He's hitting me hard too. Activate the defenses just in case. Yeah, they're in here. Oh, dog. Final stand inside the compound. Oh yeah, this is bad. Things are bad. I shot on each side of him. Oh man, the blood. One of my turrets got him though. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's more like it. Settlers firing through me. Okay, that's fine. Well, hello there. Settler down! No, attack dog. You could have been a good boy. This is wild. What's firing from back here? Oh, my laser turret in the Paradise Island. Pleasure Island. Paradise Island. Docks there. I think all my turrets are down, just about. Oh, kid's got a knife. Look at this hero with his pistol out. Oh, they're cowering. He's got a missile launcher. You missed every shot. Where's my sniper? 6, I think. There it is. Oh, wow, I'm empty. Well, alright, they got him. That was almost really cool. One of our turret lights is still working, thankfully. How many more of these guys are there? That's more like it. Somebody's sound effect for the machine gun is glitched back there. Well, they got inside the walls, but our last stand defense has actually worked really well. Which one of you has the glitch sound? My rocket turret did some damage down here, I think, before it all went to hell. I think most of my spotlights are still up. No, that one's out right there. Some of my generators actually probably got hit. A bunch of my turrets are down. There's a lot of dead raiders, though. He tried to breach with the hammer. Got caught. And that light's down. Protected by the Minutemen, indeed. Alright, I'm pretty proud of that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini build channel update. Little fight here. Stay back, indeed. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.